Thank you for joining me. How we see ourselves has everything to do with how we're able to interact with other people. Self-concept is a huge part of how we communicate and how we understand the world, and how we think of ourselves and what we think of ourselves and what happens inside our brain when we're talking to ourselves, the word choice, how critical we are. How does that play into what we communicate to other people and the relationships that we're able to build or not? So I'm interacting with this student. I've been giving him feedback throughout the quarter about what he needs to do to progress, also making it very clear, here's how you be successful, and I'm interested in helping you be successful, but there are certain parameters and requirements that need to be met. Oftentimes he chose not to meet them. And at the end of the quarter, when he saw his grade was a C minus, he was really angry. He was very upset. So he approaches my desk in a not very happy manner and says, I have never in my life gotten a grade this low. He says that you're a piece of shit teacher. And I said, was that what you think? And this was literally my response. It really didn't faze me. Why? Because I know that I'm a good teacher. Part of the story that I tell myself is I am a storyteller. I am a teacher. That is my nature. That's the way I've always been. It's a natural gift and ability that I feel so blessed to have. So when he said that to me, it didn't affect me. It didn't faze me. And I could see in that moment so clearly that this was about him. This was about his lack of ability to take responsibility, his default of blaming so he could be the victim in the role. Now, in another scenario, an area where I don't feel as confident is in being a mother. I do my best, like we all do. We do our best, but sometimes I feel like I'm totally failing, and it makes me feel emotional. If someone that I really care and respect and trust says, oh, well, your son doesn't ever do that with me, I catch myself feeling like I need to defend myself, like somehow there's something wrong with me. And the reason why that spurs an emotional reaction is because of my self-concept and some of the stories that I'm working through about me and my role as a mother. And that is how impactful our self-concept can be. So you see, these are two great examples of how our self-concept and the way in which we see ourselves and the language we speak to ourselves and how critical we are of ourselves versus how supporting and grateful we are about our skills and abilities, which all translates into how we respond when people give us any kind of feedback or potential criticism. So I have a question for you. How does your self-concept, the way you see yourself, the way you talk to yourself, how you identify, play into how you receive feedback and criticism? And if you feel that spur, I encourage you to have the courage to dig a little bit deeper and ask yourself, what's really happening here? Why does this feel hurtful? Where is that coming from? And what stories am I telling myself to reinforce this negative feeling? You have power and control over your emotions, which is a beautiful gift if we choose to use it. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope these questions and this idea of self-concept and how we talk about ourselves gives you some great ideas to reflect upon.